Coronation Street performer identifies the most perilous individual in the Megan fatality investigation. Could a persistent rivalry conclude in a total catastrophe? Coronation Street actress Beth Nixon has officially identified Maggie Driscoll as the most hazardous antagonist within the collection of individuals who might be responsible for the potential demise of Megan Walsh. The character portrayed by Beth, Megan, is one of 5 specific residents who might be removed from the show during the current week, and her narrative is set to be highlighted in a significant broadcast on Thursday evening, 30th of April. The subsequent trip to Weatherfield depicts Megan confronting a sequence of aggressive encounters as she continues to be a widely detested figure in the community following her manipulative grooming of the young adolescent Will Driscoll. Predictably, it is the grandmother of Will, Maggie, who may be prepared to cross a dangerous boundary, considering, after all, that she has committed an act of homicide in her past. While discussing this dramatic plot line, Beth remarked with a chuckle, "I am actually frightened of Maggie myself. Of all the various characters involved, I believe Maggie is likely the specific individual whom Megan would find the most intimidating." She eventually manages to uncover a handful of Maggie's private secrets. Megan is fully aware of the violence Maggie is capable of, so the older woman does manage to unnerve her slightly. However, I suspect Megan holds such a remarkably high view of her own abilities that she truly believes she can cleverly outmaneuver Maggie. In her mind, even if she engages in a direct confrontation with her, then that encounter simply makes Maggie appear unfavorable as well. She would merely utilize that situation as further leverage. Nevertheless, I suspect she is genuinely somewhat terrified, shaking in her footwear just a little bit. The installment airing this Thursday also depicts Eva Price, Leanne Battersby, and Toyah Battersby joining forces to coerce a formal admission of guilt from Megan. Yet, when they forcibly march her into the apartment above the hair salon and the situation escalates into physical violence, is it possible that the 3 women have involved themselves in something they cannot control? Beth further observed, "They are certainly not experienced abductors. They have no real understanding of what they are attempting to do. They are saying things like, 'Ensure no blood gets on my outfit.' Eva is dressed in her typical pink attire and high-heeled shoes, pulling her along the pavement with her heels making a clicking sound. Megan simply thinks, 'What do you honestly intend to achieve?' Then Toyah strikes her, but Megan responds, 'Very well, I have the advantage now. You have committed a physical assault against me. I have not laid a finger on you.' This is because she is highly intelligent. She avoids attacking others directly. She simply permits them to strike her. She provokes them intentionally because she can then employ those actions as defensive leverage. Naturally, there remains a possibility that Megan could endure the events of the week, given that Maggie, Carl Webster, Jody Ramsey, and Theo Silverton are also currently in grave danger. With so many unexpected developments and reversals on the horizon, any outcome is truly achievable. When questioned about her participation in this major homicide mystery event, Beth answered, "It is absolutely surreal. This represents my very first professional television role, so this entire process is completely unfamiliar to me. When I viewed the promotional advertisement for this week, it appeared as though I were starring in a cinematic film. It is simply incredible. I have enjoyed a tremendous amount of pleasure working on it. It is truthfully one of the most remarkable experiences I have ever participated in." Coronation Street devotees perplexed by Jody Ramsey's segment as discrepancy is identified. The installment of the ITV serial focused on the narrative of Jody Ramsey arrived as her potential expiration looms over the Weatherfield community. Coronation Street enthusiasts have been left increasingly bewildered as they believe they have detected a logical issue within the broadcast centered on Jody Ramsey's arc, particularly as her possible demise approaches in Weatherfield. This enigmatic individual has been fascinating spectators of the ITV drama since her initial appearance during the monumental crossover event with Emmerdale labeled Corriedale, which showcased a terrifying multi-car collision. As viewers recall, Jody was discovered restrained inside a transport vehicle operated by the returning Emmerdale character, Graham Foster. Although they were not directly caught in the wreckage, Jody attempted a getaway and, after sustaining injuries, was admitted to the infirmary, where she encountered Shona Platt, who was subsequently revealed to be her estranged biological sister. In the time since that revelation, despite the visible discomfort Shona felt regarding the reintegration of her younger sibling into her daily life, Jody has established herself within the Platt household after receiving an invitation to reside at number 8 Coronation Street. However, as Corrie watchers are aware, Jody is not entirely what she appears to be, and seems intent on driving a wedge between her sibling and her spouse, while her interactions with other local residents have also been under scrutiny. Currently, Jody stands as one of 5 prospective targets of a homicide in Weatherfield, joined by Megan Walsh, Theo Silverton, Maggie Driscoll, and Carl Webster. A chronological jump-forward segment, originally aired in February, first established this plotline, showing a visibly shaken and distressed teenager being interrogated by investigators concerning the discovery of a familiar person's remains. As the narrative returned to the current day, Corrie spectators began to observe how the conduct of these 5 individuals might culminate in their eventual death. While the actual murder occurred chronologically on April 23rd, the program has spent this week revisiting that specific date, with every episode presented from the viewpoint of a different potential fatality. At the conclusion of the week, Betsy will uncover one of these individuals deceased, and once the identity of the victim is officially disclosed, the investigation to apprehend the murderer will commence. Jody's dedicated episode was broadcast on Wednesday, April 29, during which concern grew for Shona as Jody overheard her outside their home, insisting she had no knowledge of the people they were seeking and that they were in error. Nevertheless, Jody exited the residence and confirmed her true identity. 2 unidentified men insisted on the recovery of a specific hard drive, and Jody finally conceded to their demands. After previously instructing Jody that she needed to depart for the protection of Shona and the rest of the Platt relatives, Shona experienced a change of heart and informed her sibling that she was welcome to remain. However, while Shona was visiting her infant daughter, Harper, at the medical center, Jody was shown making a startling discovery. She unearthed the correspondence she had composed for her elder sister during her childhood, a letter Shona had previously asserted she never received. Jody then played a telephonic message left by David, which served as proof to her that Shona had intentionally disregarded her previous pleas for assistance. Seeking retribution, she contacted David via message and positioned herself in the marital bed shared by him and Shona, awaiting his arrival. Having attended the wedding celebration for Lisa and Carla, David returned to the house and clumsily entered the bedroom in an intoxicated state. After removing his trousers, he moved onto the mattress and began to embrace Jody, under the impression that she was his spouse. However, he received a massive shock when Jody shifted and the two came into direct contact.